Jace had always been a night owl. While most people were asleep, he was in his attic, surrounded by old radio equipment, tangled wires, and notebooks filled with strange frequencies. He wasn't a conspiracy theorist, just curious. Late at night, between the usual static and forgotten broadcasts, sometimes weird things came through. A voice from nowhere, a song that didn't exist, a code that made no sense. But tonight was different. Most people would have ignored it. Jace wasn't most people. He recorded the audio and ran it through his computer. When he played it backward, the distortion formed coordinates. Somewhere deep in the woods. It wasn't on any map. By sunrise, he had packed his car, grabbed his gear, and set off. He didn't know what he was chasing, only that he had to know. At exactly 3:33 a.m., his speakers crackled, and a distorted voice whispered, "If you can hear this, you are one of us." Jace froze. He adjusted the dial, but the station wasn't on any known frequency. "We are trapped between moments. Help us." The lights flickered. The air turned cold. Then the signal cut out. His hands were shaking as he grabbed a pen and scribbled. The frequency down, 313.7. That was impossible. The human ear wasn't even supposed to pick up that range. Most people would have ignored it. Jace wasn't most people. He recorded the audio and ran it through his computer. When he played it backward, the distortion formed coordinates. Somewhere deep in the woods. It wasn't on any map. By sunrise, he had packed his car, grabbed his gear, and set off. He didn't know what he was chasing, only that he had to know. The drive took hours. Roads turned to dirt paths. His GPS glitched, but he kept going. Finally, he reached it. A rusted radio tower stood alone in a clearing, abandoned, silent. But something was wrong. The air around it shimmered, like heat waves rising off pavement. The closer he got, the more his skin tingled. His phone screen flickered, showing impossible numbers. Then, his radio buzzed to life. The same voice whispered, closer this time, "Step through." Before he could react, the world lurched. One moment, Jace was in the forest. The next, he wasn't. He stood in the middle of a city that shouldn't exist. The sky above was frozen in twilight, neither night nor day. The buildings twisted at unnatural angles, their windows reflecting nothing at all. In the distance, shadowy figures moved. Not walking, glitching. Like a broken video, skipping frames, Jace's heart pounded. His breath was visible in the air, though it wasn't cold. Then one of the figures turned. It was him, an exact copy, same face, same clothes. But its eyes, they weren't quite human. "Welcome home," the other Jace said. His voice overlapped like multiple people speaking at once. Jace staggered back. No, this isn't..." He grabbed his radio, twisting the dial, desperate for a way back. But his fingers phased through it. His skin, his whole body was flickering, becoming like them. This wasn't just a place. It was a frequency. The lost signal hadn't called him here. It had claimed him. His voice joined the chorus of whispers. And somewhere in the real world, another late-night radio listener would soon hear it. "If you can hear this, you are one of us."